Hey, this is Dave coming at you again from beautiful Vermont. Today I want to talk to you about something that I was thinking about in the last, 4 or 5 days actually, because different change of events, different things have happened, and sometimes when things happen you try to explain it off and say, well, it's just, luck, or it's bad luck, or it's good luck, or, I brought it upon myself, and the word karma always comes to mind when something happens to me. And I was thinking about this, and so I was thinking, what's the definition of karma? Karma is the law of moral causation. What is the cause of the inequality that exists among mankind? These are all questions that come to mind when you think about karma, at least to mine. Why should one person be brought up in the lap of luxury, endowed with fine mental, moral, and physical qualities, and another in absolute poverty, steeped in misery? Why should one person be a mental prodigy and another an idiot? Why should one person be born with saintly characteristics and another with criminal tendencies? Why should some be linguistic, artistic, mathematically inclined, or musical from the cradle? Why should others be congenitally blind, deaf, or deformed? Why should some be blessed and others cursed from their births? Either this inequality of mankind has a cause, or it is purely accidental. No responsible person would think of attributing this unevenness, this inequality, and this diversity to blind chance or pure accident. According to Buddhism, this inequality is due not only to heredity, environment, nature, and nurture, but it is also to karma. In other words, it is the result of our own past actions and our own present doings. Now see, that makes a bunch of sense. Think about that. We ourselves are responsible for our own happiness. We are ourselves responsible for our own misery. We create our own heaven. We also create our own hell. We are the architects of our own fate. And if you think about people who react or act in a certain way, if you think and act negatively, if you surround yourself with negative things and people and circumstances, and your environment is negative, you become your environment. You become the negativity that you surround yourself with. And conversely, positive, if you surround yourself with positive people, positive thoughts, positive actions, and circumstances around you are all positive, you become that positive entity which you so readily want to be like. It's all you bring it upon yourself. And what made me think of this? I'll answer that question. The other day, I was at the store, I think it was Thursday, and I was at one of the self-checkout counters, because I don't like waiting in line. I don't know, maybe you do. And I'm standing there, and I'm just about ready to scan my first item, and this guy comes over and taps me on the elbow and says, "Hey, is that yours?" And he points down to right in front of my foot, right next to the front of that self-checkout counter, and I would have completely and totally missed it, was a crisp, fresh, flat $10 bill. And I looked at the guy and I said, "Yeah, no, that's not mine." And I said, without hesitation, "Do you have a 5? And he looked at me like I had 2 heads. And he said, And so I reached in my pocket and I pulled out and I found it. I had one and I handed him a 5. And then I bent down and I grabbed the 10 and I put it in my pocket. And he just was dumbfounded. He was like, "Thanks." And I said, "Thank you." I mean, how cool was that? I mean, there wasn't anybody else around. It couldn't have been anybody. Maybe, it had 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, whatever. That person must have dropped it, but they weren't around. They weren't there. I would have completely missed it if it wasn't for this guy. So I felt almost a responsibility, you know, just about being nice to say, here, you know, I'll split it with you. So here's a 5. And he was like, made his day. He was like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is great. You know, beautiful. I'm really glad that, you know. So I was like, okay, put the 5 in my pocket that I found on the thing and paid for my stuff. And I get in my car and I drove away. Not thinking anything about it anymore. The next morning, I have a couple different offices, a couple different businesses. I log into my back office and I have a new sign up in my primary business. I thought, that's kind of cool. Later on in the afternoon, I find out I have 3 sign-ups in my other business. I said, that's kind of cool. I go to check the mail. I get a mail, and I have a $660 check in an envelope for me. I'm thinking, okay, this is really cool. And Saturday, I did a couple things, and I got another notification and an email that I had 2 more signups on Saturday. I had 1 more yesterday. I did a bunch of stuff, and of course, this Father's Day yesterday, I was like completely blown away with the stuff and the cards that my daughter gave me. I'm just the luckiest guy in the whole wide world. And I've been trying to sell a couple things on eBay for months. I mean, well, actually, one of them 6 months. And this morning, a gentleman comes over and says, you've been trying to sell this thing, you know, I don't want to tell you what it is. It doesn't really matter. And I said, you know, I'll give you cash for it if you sell it. I said, oh, okay. So I ended up getting $800 in cash today, again. And then, I know it doesn't stop there, right? So then I go over to go to the bank, and so I checked the mail again this afternoon, and in the mail I had 2 more checks, and I went to the bank to deposit those. That's what it was. So I had to go to the bank to deposit the $800 that I got. I had to go to the bank to deposit the other 2 checks. I had already gone Saturday to deposit the $660 check. I mean, really? All because of that? Who knows? But it's got to be something like that. I mean, that's why it made me think of karma. I mean, it all comes back to you. If you do nice things, and if you are pleasant and positive, nice things happen to you, and pleasant and positive things and people and so on happen to you. I mean, it's just, that's what it's been like for a long time, but just noticeably more since that one little thing that I did on Thursday night. It's amazing, right? So, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Buddhist. I don't believe in Buddhism completely, totally, or at all. I wasn't brought up in that faith, and if you are, wonderful. I kind of understand some of the things, but karma is one of the things that the Buddhists believe in, and I kind of do too. Because, you know, what goes around comes around. And if you treat other people the way you want to be treated, you get treated like that. But you do, in fact, I do believe your actions, your past actions and your present actions are responsible. We are responsible for our own happiness and misery, and we do create our own heaven, and we create our own hell. So, keep that in mind when you're about to say something or do something or have something done with somebody, to somebody. Think about that. Do you want a good reaction? Do you want to be happy? Are you creating a heaven or are you creating a hell? So I hope that was helpful. And I hope you're as lucky as I have been in the last 5 days. And I'm sure you will be. And I hope karma is with you. And I hope you're blessed like I am. And I will see you at the top. Make it a great day.